So, hope you guys are doing okay. I had several stressed out students this morning, and so I thought I should go ahead and make a YouTube video, which hopefully would help you in any sort of stressful situation, but should be particularly helpful if you find yourself stressed over political things. Number one most important thing is I'm a nice guy and a teacher, but I am not a licensed therapist, psychiatrist, or psychologist. So if you are feeling overwhelming despair, especially if you're feeling any sort of ideas of self harm, stop watching the video. You just need someone who's more qualified than me to help kind of walk you back and help you get your mind back where you need to go. Counselor, therapist, whatever it is you need. Several of my students this morning were feeling very anxious and their minds were racing, but they didn't know how to kind of make sense of it. So I recommended for them a very baseline level of cognitive based therapy. Basically, you just fold over a piece of paper, and then on the big side, you just brain dump. Just what are you thinking? Just write it out, write it out, write it out, blah, 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 and get it all out there. And then once you're done, and it might be a couple pages front and back, that's fine. Just take a breath. Take a breath, get a glass of water, come back, and then take a look at what you wrote. Because from what I understand, the brain is great for coming up with thoughts, not so good at like deciding whether that thought is logical or the right thing at the time, which is why all of us make mistakes. It's just is that disconnect. You can get better, but no one's perfect. So you just take a look at this and you just look like, is this logical? Like anything's possible, but is what I'm worried about probable? Is that a logical progression, or am I acting omniscient or fortune telling, or am I exaggerating what could be happening here? The theory is very similar to the idea I feel. So, like when you write an emotional email, you should never send it right away. Write the email, take a break, next morning or whatever, take a look and say, okay, do I really want to send this, or is this the best way for this to be said? The other thing to keep in mind, in the description, I'll have a worksheet that could help you kind of through cognitive-based theory, some of the most common thinking errors. But again, a therapist would do a much better job of really leading you if you feel this would be helpful. When it comes to political things, I always recommend ignore the talking heads. They are literally paid to rile you up, galvanize you, make you upset, make you still watch what's happening on their media channels. So I avoid them when things are really contentious. I do like to find, like an election, I do like to find like a map, like just something very fact based that I can look at. I'm ignoring the other editorials. I'm ignoring the talking heads and all that. I'm just looking at the facts because, like in the case of what's happening at this moment, we're in the middle of basically a mail ballot election, and those mail ballots aren't even going to be counted all the way till Friday. So a lot of this stuff is just kind of conjecture. It's just kind of like maybe, maybe not. So what I recommended for some of my students is what's called the 8 and 8 rule, which is if you're really obsessed with social media, okay, I am going to check twice. Just check twice a day. Once at 8 o'clock in the morning, once 8 at night. That'll calm down your brain because it'll know that it's going to be informed. But it also knows you're only going to have a few minutes. And that way you'll just kind of get a highlight in the morning, a highlight at night. And then you won't be as obsessed and follow that roller coaster that they are so desperate to get you on. The other thing is you've probably heard that you should focus on your breathing, which is a good idea. I always tell students to focus on breathing out. If you just say focus on your breathing or just make sure you breathe in, you can hyperventilate. You can breathe in too much. Much harder when you're focusing breathe out. I promise you, you breathe out as much as you can, as much as you can, as much as you can, more than you think, and then your body will immediately inhale and then push it right back out. Once you've taken a breath in, push it out. And what'll happen is that that'll kind of calm you down. It'll help you really, your heart rate will go down. You'll kind of realize that you're not in immediate danger. There's a lot of other things that are kind of like that. Obviously, going to a quiet place, closing your eyes, sometimes with your breath, closing your ears can kind of amplify that sound. And also just things like a brain inventory, a body inventory, like am I feeling stress in a particular place? Do I need to unhinge my jaw? Do I need a washcloth to put on the back of my neck? All those things can help you realize, get you out of your head and more into a place where you're like, okay, sure, I don't like what's happening, but I don't have to do fight or flight. I don't have to fight anybody at this moment. And the last thing is just to realize we're all in this together. The number of people who want good things to happen and justice vastly outnumber the people who want violence and want horrible things to happen. So with that, if that was helpful, awesome. If you want more, if you're one of my students, feel free to contact me. But if it's not helping, definitely see your school counselor or some sort of licensed therapist, and they will help you out, and things will be seeming better. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.